Ngayong hapon, sir.
Ngayong hapon.
Ako day si Mike Renzo de la Cruz, usa ka student kita sa Cebu Nueva University. Yan ako karong hapon na para malawid kanimo. Kamusta man karon, sir?
Okay ra akong kamo.
Ayo. Karon day, sir, kay mag-perform ko examination sa mahang cardiovascular system. Ako check mong heart, mga ugat. Nya kani siya, sir, kay mag-require siya, sir, na mag-topless ka. Inasip time, sir, na muwi ka po si mong kamot o sa mong TL. Nya ana ko lang ka, sir, kay ang ako makuha sa data karon kay katubos na ako usban pa mo serve nimo. So okay na ba nimo, sir?
Okay ra.
Sige, sir. So before kong perform sa physical examination, sir, kay mag-asa ko sa mga history. So smoker ba ka, sir?
Dili.
Tapos nagatry ka ng smoke, sir? Mas
Wala,
ano
wala.
sa wala pa sa. So kung sir, alcohol, sir, nakatry na ba inom ba alcohol?
Wala.
Wala pa? Maskin beer, sir, or wine?
Wala sir.
Wala, sir. Sa kape, sir, nakatry ba ka inom kape?
Mga 3 times a week.
2 times a week? Gamit o pa, sir, kanang drugs, recreational
Wala.
drugs? Wala pa sa. Ano, sir, mag-exercise ka, sir?
Mga inigbuntag kay maglakaw-lakaw ko kuyog sa akong iro.
Okay. Nya, sa mong diet, sir, kanang unsa mong kanon sa kaadlaw, like, unsa mong pagkauna?
Taga-buntag kay magluto og karne niya. Di ka paniudto og panihapon kay manok o isda o niya na jud na yung gulay.
Himarat ba ka, sir, na kasi mag-adaw na kag-asin sa pagkaon?
Dili ko gan.
Dili. Sa kaning karne, sir, tag-adaw mo mag-karne, sir?
Mga 4 times a week or 5 times a week.
Okay. Nya kaning kwan, sir, fast food, sir. Dili mo fast food?
Kana lang walay available maluto sa balay o niya occasional dili ako.
Okay. Nang karon, sir, nagtumar ba kag tambal na irritate sa mong heart
Wala.
or kwan? Wala tambal. Nya karon, sir, na ba ka na-feel na chest pain or sa kanang
Wala.
kasing? Wala ra. Nya sa pamilya, sir, na ba kay lolo, tito, tita, nanay ka ng sakit sa heart disease, hypertension, or stroke?
Wala.
Wala rin ka ng
Wala.
high blood, wala ra. Karon, sir, nakatry ba ka kwan, sir? Kana nakafeel ka ng mga cramping sa mga leg, kanang murag na-feel mo tusok-tusok sa mga paa, or nakafeel ba mga bugna-bugna sa mga kamot or something?
Wala.
Wala ra. Before proceeding to the physical examination, you must make sure that the client is in the proper position and is sitting comfortably. And since the patient is in a sitting position which is appropriate for the examination, we will just ask if he is comfortable. So, sir, nang comfortable kasi paglingkod?
No.
Okay. So, then after asking the patient if he's comfortable, we will now explain the procedure. So, sir, kanina sir, kay mag-require na siya na part sa mag-require na mag-topless ka, na part sa mag-require kumikap sa mong kamod, sa mga bukton, ug sa liog, sa tiil. Yan kaya siya, sir, kaya importante na siya, sir, para maka-check mo if wala ka problema sa mong kasing-kasing, sa mga ugat, o kanina ba kaya possibility na makadevelop og mga sakit ng later on. So, after explaining the procedure, we will now make sure that the room is quiet. And since we make sure the room is quiet through closing the door and closing the windows. So the first thing to do in the physical assessment is to assess the heart. First, we need to have a mental image of the exact location of the heart, and by doing so, we will now find the angle of Lewis and fill the adjacent ribs and the sternal border. So the angle of Lewis is usually found in the second intercostal space. So it's here. And after finding the angle of Lewis, we will now fill the adjacent ribs. Okay. Then after filling for the adjacent ribs, we will now locate for the landmarks. So first, we'll check for the aortic area, which is found in the second intercostal space near the sternal border on the right. Then after, we will now go to the pulmonic area, which is found in the second intercostal space on the left sternal border. Okay. After, we'll go for the tricuspid, which is found in the fourth intercostal space on the left sternal border. Okay. Then after finding the tricuspid, we will now proceed to finding the mitral area, which is found in the fifth intercostal space on the left sternal border. Okay, so I have located the four landmarks. So after locating the anatomic landmarks, we will now stay at the right side of the patient Then inspect and palpate the precordium for pulsations and exaggerated lifts. So based on my inspection, there is no visible pulsation nor exaggerated lifts. Now we will palpate the anatomic landmarks to feel for pulsations. So first we'll do it in the aortic area. Okay, so no great pulsation is felt. Now we'll go to the pulmonary area. Okay, we could feel the position of the heart. And now we'll go to the tricuspid area. Okay, we could also feel the pulsation of the heart, but not so strong. So we'll now go to the mitral area. Okay, we could also feel some pulsations. So now we'll locate for the point of maximum impulse, which is located in the fifth intercostal space on the mid-clavicular line. So, ikaw lang hamdukan sir. Okay, we have located the point of maximum impulse. So now we will auscultate for the auscultate the anatomic landmarks to So now we will auscultate the anatomic landmarks using the diaphragm, then afterwards we will use the bell. So we'll check for the S1, which is the first sound, which indicates the closing of the mitral and the tricuspid valve, and the S2, or the second sound, which indicates the closing of the pulmonary and the aortic valve. Okay, so first I'll use the diaphragm and go for the anatomic landmarks. So first the aortic area. In the pulmonary area, the tricuspid area, and the mitral area. Okay. Now we'll use the bell. Okay, the aortic area, okay, then the pulmonary area, the tricuspid area, and the mitral area. So based on my auscultation, the S1 was very evident on the places in the tricuspid and the mitral area. Meanwhile, the second sound is very clear on the aortic and the pulmonary area. So now we'll auscultate to check for rate and rhythm. So using my watch, I'll count the heartbeats in a minute. Okay, so within the minute, the patient has 74 beats per minute, and the rhythm begins with a lub, followed by an immediate dub, then a small pause, then continuing the pattern. So now we'll compare the apical pulses to the radial pulses. So now I will count the radial pulse in a minute. Pwede mo i-count sa imong left hand. Okay, so within a minute, the patient has 76 beats per minute in his radial pulse. So compared to the apical pulse, it is quite the same, only difference of 2 beats. And its strength is similar to the beat of the apical pulse. So now I will auscultate again to check for extra breath sound aside from the S1 and S2 sound. So balik ko cancer ha. So now we'll use the bell. Okay, so no other sounds are heard aside from the S1 and S2 sounds.